If you are applying for job, if you are looking for a job, what is the first tool that we use? Our resume. Our resume is like the showcase, right? What we offer, what we know, what we have learned, what is our experience, what is our knowledge, everything. So today, let's talk about how to create a job winning resume for freshers particularly. So if we look at, most of the time the biggest mistake that we make, because of which getting job becomes little difficult, is like we create the resume thinking that this is the best resume, but we forget to think from the recruiter's perspective. In other words, we create the resume for ourselves, not for the recruiter. The first mistake. Second, most of the time our resume is unable to beat the application tracking software. Now, what is application tracking software? It's a system which scans thousands or hundreds of CVs for a particular job and identify the most suited or most suitable CVs from that list. As we all know that whenever a job is posted in any of the online job posting portal, there are hundreds of application lands up. Now, out of this hundreds of application, how the system will identify the most suited job or most suited profiles rather? Do you think that somebody, some human being, reads through or scans through that hundreds of CVs? No. Most of the companies today have a system called application tracking software. In fact, if you are applying through online job portal like LinkedIn, Naukri, or various other job portals, there also there is an inbuilt ATS system. So the question is our CV capable enough to beat that application tracking system or not? Right? This is again a very big point where we often make mistake. What is the third one? We feel or we think that the recruiter is supposed to or bound to read through the entire CV from top to bottom. Are they compelled to do that? Do they have time for that? No. One CV hardly get 5 to 8 seconds of the time of the recruiter to see. So it is very important that within that 5 to 8 seconds, the resume catches their eyes, make them interested, and compel them to go through the entire CV. If not, in that case, qualification, marks, and education and all these things might be the best suited for this job, particular job, but I will not get selected. I will not get the call for the interview. What next? Next is, we don't understand what recruiter look for in the CV. What are the key areas where we need to focus while preparing the CV? So now if we talk about little more in details, first point, we are preparing the CV, preparing our CV for the recruiter, not for ourselves, right? So what we want the recruiter should see the CV, feel interested, and then they should understand that I am the best suited person or best person for this particular opening, for this particular job, and get the interview call. That's what the objective is. So we must prepare our CV in such a way that the recruiter found it interesting, relevant, not only interesting, relevant. So we need to put ourselves in the recruiter's shoe and see or feel what all things they are looking for. and put all these things into our CV. Very important, right? If we miss to do that, problem. Now, we have talked about ATS system. Everyone applies for many jobs. Do you use the same CV for applying all the jobs or the same type of job? Let me take an example. Somebody or some organization or a set of organizations are hiring for, say, freshers who should have knowledge of, say, object-oriented programming, Java, and so forth. There are, when we searched, because these are the, this is the job which I am looking for. When I have searched in the job portal, online job portal, I found there are 15 open positions. Now, do you use the same CV while applying for all 15 jobs? If you are doing that, you are making a grave mistake. That is one reason, one key reason that you are not getting the interview call, because most likely the ATS system or application tracking software will reject your CV. We need to know the tricks, how we can make the differentiative CVs, how we can create different CVs suited for each and every job posting. What the ATS or the application tracking software look for while screening the CV. We need to understand that. Keyword or the skills plays a very, very, very important role here. So if in one job description it says object-oriented programming, in my CV it should be written as object-oriented programming. In another job posting, if it is written as OOPS concept, in that case my CV should have OOPS concept. In that case where they have asked for OOPS concept or they have mentioned OOPS concept in the job description, and if my CV has the word object-oriented programming, trust me, ATS will reject it because it's a computer software, right? It cannot understand that OOPS concept and object-oriented programming are altogether same. Now, third, make sure that your resume does not look boring. Very, very, very important. Again, at this point of time, we assume that you or your resume has passed through ATS, or the number of applications are very low, or the organization is a small organization who do not have an ATS software. In such any of those cases, your CV has reached to a human recruiter who will actually, or who will now look at your CV, read through your CV. Trust me, I am doing the recruitment for over 15 years now, right? So during this time, I have found 95% of the CVs looks alike, as if someone have created one CV template and everyone, hundreds and thousands of people, they copy paste from that template. As a result of that, it looks uninteresting, boring. So make sure that your CV not only talks about the relevant facts and qualification and all these things, skill and everything, but also looks nice. A good look is always matter. Remember, though the recruiter is not getting married with your CV, but there is a question of liking and disliking. So if the CV looks good, if the CV looks nice, that makes the difference, initial differentiator factor. Give special attention to the font style and font size. Make it readable. Very, very important once again. Make it readable. Ensure that your resume has all the required details in the topmost section only. So earlier we have spoken that recruiter usually spend 5 to 8 seconds of his or her time to have a look at each and every CV. So your CV should make an impact within that time. How? First, look. Second, right font, right font style and size. Third, all the required information should be available, the recruiter should be able to see in first few seconds. What all those important information? Is it my address? Is it my phone number? No, that comes later. Phone number is required when the recruiter has decided to give you a call. Email ID is required when the recruiter decided to contact you. The first thing for fresher is your skills. What qualification do you have? These are the first thing which recruiter would like to see. If they are looking for, say for example, BTech computer science student, fresher, who have passed or graduated in 2021, in that case that information should come first. If they are looking for, again for example, core Java or Python or C sharp, anything, that information should be there in front of the recruiter's eye at the very first moment. Then only they will say, okay, fine, let me now look through. Do not expect that recruiter will open your CV and then use Control F or use the find tool, put the skills and search. Nobody has time. Okay, so make those information visible in front of the recruiter's eyes at the very first moment. Next, we often give two things. Hobbies. One, what is my hobby? Playing cricket, maybe reading books. Reading book is still okay. Playing cricket, badminton, so on and so forth, swimming, trekking, etc., etc., etc. Now, is it related with your job? If yes, then definitely put it. If not, then maybe you can omit it or put it at the very end of their CV, very end, so that even if recruiter doesn't read it, doesn't matter. But yes, if reading is your hobby, don't say just reading. Reading what? What kind of reading? What kind of books you read plays a very important role, because a person who reads the relevant type of book means the person is looking or keen to learn new things. What all areas you are trying to enhance your knowledge? Important factor. What else? References will be provided on request. Please never use this line. Never use this line. That's a stupid line. I mean, if someone asks for reference, you are bound to give. Can you afford to say, no, I will not give reference? Doesn't matter. Gender, put it at the end, sometime required. Many of cases we write at the last statement, all the information submitted or provided in the resume is correct based on my blah, 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 blah. You are not writing a court paper. I mean, you are not writing an affidavit, right? So not required, not required. Signature, these days not required, because we hardly send any CV through post or courier, hard copy. If you are applying for a job where they are asking for a hard copy of your CV, then make those changes, take the printout, sign and send. But until then, it looks odd. Again, it looks like you have copied from a dated, very old CV format. Now we are talking about the look and feel. Here, look at these two CVs. One side, you have a very traditional common CV, which perhaps 90% people or 95% people uses. The other side, in this side, you have another format, another template, which is definitely different. I mean, I do not see this kind of template very often in my, I would say last 10-15 years, forget about 10-15 years. This particular tool is not so popular for long time, but for last few years, it is pretty popular. So compare these two templates, these two formats. Which one do you like? Also, now have a look at this particular CV. This particular CV, if you see what all things you have your photo, Now, why photo is required? Many of us feel that, no, why should I put my photograph in the CV? See, it plays an important role. Why? How good do I look? No. From my eyes, from my facial expression, many of times we will make a judgment whether this person is an intelligent person or not. There is a science behind it. So, put a photo. What type of photo? In the beach, in the hill, mountain, on the bike, on a cycle? No, please, 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 never. Take a professional photo, passport size, or might be a bust length photo, but it should be professionally taken with a proper background, preferably white background. Go to the studio, tell them, they will put a green screen behind you, take the photo shot, take the shot, and then remove that green screen and put a proper background. If you want, ask them to make the background transparent, right? So that helps. Wear professional attire while uh, shooting or taking the photo for your CV. Similarly, while posting your profile or creating your profile in any of the job portals, job site, very important, put the same photo, professional looking photo. Facebook and all these places, uh, fine, with all due respect, but in Facebook, even if you put your profile photo with your bike and or beach, in the beach or in the mountain, it's absolutely fine, no issue. But in the job search site, professional photo, important. LinkedIn, professional photo, important. So take a professional photo, put that photo. Next, name. As I have mentioned, address and those things are not so relevant at the very beginning. Phone number, email ID also can come little later. So name, then next important is your LinkedIn link, LinkedIn profile link. If you have a GitHub, today all the engineering students, technical students, they all have. So give that link, Git link. Next, your qualification in the main section. And on the side section, which you can see here on the screen, in the side section, what you will put? You will put your skills, the key skills, what all things you are good at. Put the topmost skill at the top, so that during interview, during the technical test or written test or whatever your employer decides to conduct, you should be doing well in that particular skill. You should be confident in that particular skill. Put those things at the top. Next should be your regular other qualifications and all these things. Anyways, after graduation, what all things, sorry, not after, before graduation, what all things you have done. Now for fresher, please put your CGPA or percentage in the CV. Important. So don't shy away. Whether you are a good student, bright student, or may not have scored well, put everything there and be honest. Okay. Then comes to your hobbies, this, that, and all other details. Okay. Email ID, everything. Email ID and phone number, you can put it on the other side, left side of the CV, left section of the CV, as you see. Email ID and phone number, so that it is easily visible. And for freshers, ideally the CV should be a single page CV. Don't make it 2, 3, 5 pages. Internship details, important. That should appear immediately after your qualification. What all internship have you done? If any of your work is available for public views, put those links. If you are allowed to put your the internship outcome to put in your Google Drive or anywhere, put that link. Do not need, no need to share, but at least be transparent that yes, if required, if you ask for, I can give you the permission or share that link, so that anybody or the recruiter can have a look. What have I done during my internship? Put those internship details. Put the academic project details. Put little detailed about it. Don't put a single liner kind of thing, so that the interviewer can understand what all areas you have worked on, what all areas you have expertise, right? What all areas you are confident about, so that they can talk about those things during interview. But if you are not confident in any of the areas, then don't put it at the top, put it at the bottom. Or maybe if you afford to, you can omit that. Well, so these are few of the tips, high level tips I would say. So thank you for watching. I am sure now you understand the importance of a differentiative resume. Stay tuned. And the good news is we are going to organize a training session to create a job winning resume and few other topics, interview tips, how to appear for interview, how to get the crack the interview, what to wear, what not to wear, uh, what all things you should prepare for the interview, how to handle or answer the difficult questions. One interesting thing is how to answer, or what to answer rather, the question, tell me about your weakness or areas of development. How should you answer the question, what is your goal or objective? Where do you see yourself after say 5 years, 10 years in your career? What do you want to be, kind of thing. These questions looks very simple, but it requires some tricks to answer. So in the training, we will cover all these things. So stay tuned. We will announce the training very soon. And till then, thank you once again. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.